Hello, welcome to this video where I'm going to showcase a set of battles between two players from the Sylph World Competition for factions. 8 teams from each region, LATAM, North America, Europe and APAC, have qualified for this tournament to become the best faction in the world. And we'll probably see different battles every week, different metas. Can't say it right now because this video is pre-recorded, but let's take a look at this matchup that we have right here now. We have 2 more rounds to show in bout number 1. I just want to give a quick shout out to Anikor real quick for helping me get all these recordings and coordination with the players. The players we're going to take a look at today is on the left, I hope I pronounce this correctly because I'm trying to do it in the Japanese way. We have from Japan, JesusAWC, and on the right side we have from the United States, Balk. Let's take a look at the achievements of these players. Alright, so JesusAWC from Japan. Again, I don't have a lot of data available on Japanese players or achievements, but let's take a look at the 3 that I have listed here. The first one being the most obvious one is that they qualified for Worlds 2023 through the Japanese qualifier in the same year. They got to spot number 12, as you see on the tweet on the right side that I needed some Google Translate for, but obviously a really good performance, and we will see JesusAWC in Yokohama with that performance. The second one is not per se that I'm super impressed by APAC Open, with all due respect, right? An open tier usually is new teams and it can be a variety of good and bad players, but I do like the score that they got here in APAC Open. As we've seen the last 4 bouts there, 3-0, 0-3, and then another 3-0, 3-0, which really just hard win or hard loss, so that's pretty impressive to myself. And they did sweep that open tier, which usually has a lot of teams. Let's take a look at the third one that I have, which is a pretty nice one. The Go Battle League ranking that she got in Season 14, rank 69. A good place on the leaderboard, and we'll probably see even more from JesusAWC in the future. Now let's take a look at Balk. Now, taking a look at Balk, and apologies for my Dutch pronunciation. A Balk is like a construction beam in Dutch, so that's why I pronounce it like this. Either way, Balk has played some Pokemon tournaments that we can take a look at here, and he started in 2022 already, where he got to top 5 at the NAIC, which I believe was the biggest tournament of 2022. Unfortunately, Balk was 1 win short of qualifying for Worlds. Either way, getting top 5 is still very, very impressive. In 2023, he didn't have as much luck. It took him a couple regionals to actually get there. He played at Peoria, Orlando, Fort Wayne, but only in Milwaukee he actually won all of it. He qualified for Worlds, won the Travel Award. I believe in the other Play Pokemon tournaments he also got to like the loser finals of his group in a couple of these, but barely didn't make it. However, in Milwaukee won all of it, and now he's also qualified for Worlds. We'll see him in Yokohama as well. The third one I have here is maybe not one he's too happy with. This might be a painful one for Chicago Stars, his faction team, but like neutrally, objectively speaking, still an incredible performance, getting to the finals of the Sylph Worlds factions, the first Worlds for factions that we had, and they actually were crushing us, and we were lucky enough to have a very good end streak. Now let's take a look at the matchup between these 2 great battlers. Looking at this matchup, again, this is Open Great League, Show 8, Ban 2, and Block 2. The blocked Pokemon, that I call it green here, the players cannot ban those from each other. As we see here, Shadow Dragonair, Lantern Core from JesusAWC, and Balk has Deoxys Umbreon. I like these cores a lot. Now let's take a look, because I think there's a lot of potential to make any of these cores stronger here. Let's take a look at what these players blocked. Looks like Balk blocked Sableye and Mew from JesusAWC, which makes his Deoxys way better. But that does make the Umbreon somewhat useless, because those were the targets from the Umbreon. You could really take it 2 ways there. So it looks like Balk really emphasizes on that Deoxys here. And it looks like that JesusAWC banned the Shadow Venusaur and the Registeel from Balk. Banning the Shadow Venusaur really frees up that Lantern here for JesusAWC, and the Registeel block gives Alola Ninetales some more play. However, there is that Galarian Stunfisk still, so getting rid of one Steel type, it does free up Azumarill a lot here. Azumarill has a lot of play for Jesus here. We'll probably see that every game here. Let's take a look at these battles. So before I start the recordings here that I received from our generous battlers that allows me to make videos of these and display them, these were recorded from their faction teammates, I think, in Discord, which means that the recordings sometimes miss a line and then a line again. Just for your viewer experience, you might want to focus on one screen if that bothers you a lot. Let's take a look at game number 1 here. We have the Lantern into the Medicham and an immediate swap into the Azumarill. As predicted, Azumarill comes out for Jesus here. That Registeel ban really frees it up. And in comes that first Psychic. I believe we saw Power Punch Psychic there from Balk. Which is interesting. It gives you a little bit of a better Alola Knights matchup because you might be able to get 2 Power Punch and a Psychic. And then swapping in a Deoxys. Deoxys has a pretty fine matchup here, and I believe that was Rock Slide Thunderbolt on Balk's side. I do like that moveset a lot. Removing Psycho Boost does lose a little bit of pacing there, but I think Rock Slide and Thunderbolt gives really good coverage here to Balk. And this is one of the better matchups for Deoxys as well. Deoxys really relies on its defense only, not its HP. It has a very low HP stat, a very high defense stats, which means that one-turn moves such as Dragon Breath, Water Gun, even Lock-On do more damage in comparison to like 3-turn moves such as Bubble. Jesus is swapping out the Azumarill, keeping it for later, and in comes our Rock Slide on Water Gun, a Lantern. I think you kind of want to swap out his Bulk here, right? Preserving this Deoxys, and is able to go back to the Medicham because you really want to preserve this for the Azumarill. We saw Ice Beam play off on Azumarill from Jesus, so that means there's no Hydro Pump for the Galarian Stunfisk that Balk has, but it's still a little bit of an annoying Pokemon for both Medicham and Galarian Stunfisk. Going for that Power Punch, revealing it right away in the first game here. Revealing both Thunderbolt, Rock Slide, and Power Punch here. Probably just wanting to get all the chip damage in that Balk can, because this Water Gun Lantern is really a real pain for him. Surf barely does knock out. You might get one more counter in. Does get one more counter in. It might be valuable if you can farm down now. You don't want to bring your Galarian Stunfisk because it can't really take a Surf here. In comes Deoxys again, and is not able to farm down before Lantern gets to a Surf. But since Deoxys is high defense, it can take that Surf pretty much better than Water Guns. I didn't mean to say bad. Better than the Water Guns. In comes Alola Ninetales and Balk being very sharp here. Checking what comes in first, then throwing his charge attack. Rock Slide does about 50% here. Really good solid damage, which honestly you may not have even needed as much. It looks like Jesus, a really good no-shield, predicted that there was going to be the Galarian Stunfisk in the back. And straight Rock Slide from Balk. Good no-shield from Jesus, but I'm not sure if this is going to save you, because this Rock Slide might put you into farm down range. I'm honestly not even sure how Excel this Azu is. Azumarill always seems like the Pokemon that you think, is this Excel? Maybe I'm wrong and it's a rank 1, but you know, just a little bit more damage than I thought it would be. And yeah, another Ice Beam coming. You don't have the Hydro Pump here, so the Galarian Stunfisk can hang on with these Ice Beams here, farming it completely down. Jesus still has a shield, but Balk has 2 Rock Slide at this point. Those Charms are not gonna do enough to knock out the Galarian Stunfisk. So yeah, very well played from Balk there. Azumarill is a really difficult Pokemon to deal with, so he might need like his own Azumarill to deal with that, but then Water Gun Lantern is so good from Jesus, so you can't really bring in your own Azumarill. So it's really difficult for Balk to deal with that Azumarill from Jesus. It's a really tough matchup. It's a really tough matchup. And that makes this one win that he got here just now really, really valuable. Let's take a look at game number 2. Again, Jesus has a good matchup here, so I would expect some wins here, but Balk also proved to be very resilient, so let's take a look how that's gonna go. Medicham into Azumarill. This is an okay matchup for Medicham. It's obviously not favorable, but one player off doesn't take you out, and you do get to 2 Psychics here. First player off coming in. Do you shield this as Balk? Does not shield. They're going to put it on the Deoxys, probably his most flexible Pokemon. And going for that Psychic right there. This won't KO yet. If you get a defense drop here, I think on the previous Psychic, on the first Psychic, I think you win the 0 shields. But Not now, even though look at how close it gets. That's all resisted counter damage plus neutral psychics. Ice Beam coming in, and JesusAWC wins the lead like that. Deoxys comes in to get a nice farm down. I do like that. And in comes the Water Gun Lantern. This means there's actually quite some play for Balk still, if you can get that Galarian Stunfisk positioned well. Both players don't know yet at this point, but Galarian Stunfisk is likely going to be the key to victory here. Whoever gets like an energy advantage on Galarian Stunfisk wins that mirror. Yeah, don't mind the screen on the left. That's probably the one recording, just checking messages or something. Either way, first shield coming up. This is really valuable for Balk. He might not know it yet, but yeah. Let's see, Thunderbolt coming in. I don't think this will KO. Deoxys can take it well. The problem is Balk can't really swap in his Galarian Stunfisk here. The problem is he doesn't want to take any surfs here, so it's unlikely that Balk is the one to swap first here. Rock Slide coming in. Does JesusAWC shield this? That would be crucial in this battle. And no shield. Which makes sense because both Medicham and Deoxys are gone now. So worst case scenario, it is that Azumarill in the back. But Balk knows that it's really difficult to bring that. First Earthquake coming through. And a really good shield from Balk. But Balk is behind on energy, so he needs to land an Earthquake as well. Or needs to bait maybe. Earthquake coming through. And it does get shielded by JesusAWC. That's a really good shield. That might be a decisive shield. These are really 50-50 calls. When you're playing at a high level, a lot of players are like, okay, my win con is them baiting, so I'm no shielding. So these mind games really get into it sometimes. Earthquake comes through. Looks like Balk has a pretty good Galarian Stunfisk there because it doesn't KO yet. This one might. That's probably because JesusAWC also took a few counters from the Deoxys upon swapping. Now you need to mushroom down this Water Gun Lantern. Can you? No. Water Gun Lantern farms down Galarian Stunfisk and then comes out with a move. Making sure that this Deoxys goes down hard with the Thunderbolt. And that ties up the score 1-1 here. I still think a really well played game by Balk because of that alignment issue. However, it really looks like he had a plan. Basically, trying to soft lose Azumarill, trying to do it Deoxys. It just seems that the pick that JesusAWC has is just better than that of Balk, right? Water Gun Lantern is just better than Deoxys in this case. We have here the Shadow Dragonair into Galarian Stunfisk. This is a close matchup in the 2 shields. In 0 shields, not so much. Galarian Stunfisk can basically go straight Rock Slide in the 0 shields. Let's take a look what Balk is going to do here. However, if JesusAWC does call a Rock Slide, then the matchup becomes a little bit annoying. Dragonair is very fragile. Is JesusAWC going to shield this? Let's take a look. No shield. That's a big one. Because I think an Earthquake would KO or almost KO. Leave you in far down range for sure. Go for another Rock Slide. This will ensure switch advantage for Balk. And yeah, JesusAWC puts a shield in. Probably realizing... Ooh, and swapping in Deoxys right away. Interesting. Interesting. I think at that point, JesusAWC probably realized, okay, I need my Azumarill on that Medicham. And as we see here, brings in the Water Gun Lantern on Deoxys. I think this is exactly where JesusAWC wants it. So I'm kind of surprised by Balk's play there. Didn't really fight for switch, just want the shield advantage on that Deoxys. But that Azumarill in the back is going to be a big problem if you even get past this Water Gun Lantern. You might want to go for that Thunderbolt. No, it looks like Balk's going for that Rock Slide. Thunderbolt would do a little bit more damage. And I think at this point, JesusAWC can even farm up more. Go for a small Surfy. Yeah, you're almost at 2 surfs. So look at those Water Guns chunking at Deoxys. Deoxys is a really safe pick for Balk, but it just keeps getting aligned to that Lantern in game 2 and 3. And it doesn't have a great time there. It also has energy for the next Pokemon coming in. In comes the Medicham. Going to eat a Thunderbolt here. Yeah, you can't really catch on Galarian Stunfisk either, right? In case it's that Alolan Ninetales, you want to keep alignment somewhat. The alignment that you have right here. Now, you want to build up energy on the Medicham. In comes Azumarill, however. And this is looking very tough for Balk at this point. Oh, trying to... Bro, probably already sick of this game. Whoever was watching Balk. But yeah, realizing that this looks very tough right now. Azumarill is... yeah, I think it only has to go Ice Beam at this point. And then comes that Ice Beam. I think this Ice Beam will take out, if not barely. If there was like a play rough thrown here, he catches on Galarian Stunfisk, maybe there's play. But oh, look at that catch on the Dragonair. That's disgusting. Waiting just a little bit for the counter to go through, then swapping into the Dragonair. I don't think this was even necessary. I really don't think it was necessary. And Balk trying to do the same here, but unsuccessfully. I honestly, if it makes Balk feel any better, I don't think it would have changed the game anyway if he did catch that Ice Beam, unless JesusAWC lets him get to an Earthquake somehow, but that was probably never going to happen. This Psychic is not going to KO. You probably need an Earthquake with this to win this battle as Balk, so very well played from JesusAWC and Balk here, in my opinion. Balk having a tough matchup, still squeezing out one single point in this best out of 3. JesusAWC really making good calls on that ban phase and putting themselves already in a really good spot beforehand. So those were basically what I find a classic in Block 2 at the moment, because Block 2 adds a little bit of alignment thing in there, which I'm not a fan of. Honestly, I would love to run like 4 times dark, 4 times fairy, just for example, 4 times poison, whatever, right? But blocking those 2 mons really can set up that core that you have there, and in this case, the Azumarill and Lantern were really strong after banning the Shadow Venusaur. So good picks from JesusAWC, and I think even though Balk lost 1-2 here, I think he played very well. Hope you like this video, and see you in the next one.